concerning the bogus and fraudulent and utterly haram money that we are using now. And we would not be asleep when the enemy brings the electronic money or digital money, which is now replacing it. But this is not the subject of my lecture tonight. How riba has been used to enslave us. If we had the Quran at the foundation of our educational system, our university study, if we had the Quran at the foundation, we would have understood that the political system which has now embraced us around the world, the modern republican state, was designed and created by our most dangerous enemies and has functioned as a vehicle to disempower us, to reduce us to a position that is powerless, where we have to submit to them. If we had the Quran at the foundation of our thought, we would not have given up the model of a state and of a political system given to us by the Anbiya alayhim salam, not only by Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. No, he was the last, but there were others before him who gave us a model of a state and of a political system which is the opposite of what we have now been embraced with. And so you would not have Ikhwan al-Muslimun in Egypt fighting in elections to validate that electoral process of that state. And then to beat the drums, we have been victorious, we now have power in Egypt. You have eyes, Ikhwan, and yet you do not see. What is it that explains this colossal failure? And I have only touched the monetary and the political. I have not touched the banking. I have not touched the educational system, the model of the modern university, Cairo University down the road, Al-Azhar down this road, and that one created as a rival of this one. What explains this colossal failure? My teacher was born in India, in the city of Meerut, in 1914. And from a family that came from Saharanpur. And mashallah, we have a Hafiz somewhere in this gathering from Saharanpur somewhere. And when Pakistan came into being, they had to migrate to Karachi. But he studied not in a Darul Ulum. If he had done that, he could not have produced this book. Because as much as there was integrity in the Darul Ulum and the Jamia, they remained faithful to a classical model of education. But they failed to examine the modern world, to understand it, to penetrate it, using the Quran, and then to respond to its unprecedented challenges in a manner which was appropriate. So if he had studied in a Darul Uloom, he would not have become the scholar that he became. Rather, he studied at the Aligarh Muslim University. And there at Aligarh, he was introduced to the best scholarship that Britain and Europe had, because they brought them to Aligarh. And these scholars who came from Britain and from Europe had to function alongside scholars of Islam. And in that setting, the young minds were able to develop the capacity to study modern civilization. And the thought which had come out of modern civilization, which may be called modern thought. But more importantly, he was not only a student of Aligarh Muslim University, where he studied philosophy to the PhD level, but he was also the disciple of a Sufi Sheikh, Maulana Muhammad Abdul Alim Siddiqui rahimahullah. And from Maulana Muhammad Abdul Alim Siddiqui rahimahullah, he was introduced to the spiritual quest in Islam. We have Al-Islam, and then you grow to Al-Iman, and then you reach the summit, which is Al-Ihsan. And Al-Ihsan is أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه. That you should worship Allah, that you should serve Allah as though you are seeing Him. But can you see Him with these eyes? Arini anzur ilayk. And came the response, Lan tarani. No, you can't see me with these eyes. No. But Allah says, فَإِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارِ. It's not their eyes which are blind. وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ. What is blind